What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Endgame. My name is Pierre, and along with my partner Chris, we talk fantasy football each and every week. Our goal is to help you win. It's that simple. That's why we are the Endgame. Bottom line, we're going to talk about the stats and the players that matter in order to help you build winning lineups and make those smart trades, which is the topic of today's video. Going to talk about some players to buy low or trade targets in your leagues after 3 weeks. It's early, but this is the time to make those moves based on what we've seen, some trends, and you can take advantage of some people who maybe aren't as savvy as the Endgame community. If you want to join, by the way, check out the description below. We have some helpful links there that can help you be part of our community. Fastest growing community on YouTube. Join us, help us get to our goal of building the most inclusive and welcoming community that there is. Again, we're here to talk football and help you win, have fun doing it. That's it. Let me tell you about some players that I think you should be buying low right now. And let's start with a guy. I almost wish he didn't score in week 3 because, that was the perfect time to buy Brandon Aiyuk in San Francisco. We know what he's capable of. Obviously, drafted high last year for a reason. Weird thing going on with the hamstring. I know he had an injury preseason, said it was fine going into the season opener, but then for some reason was limited. People thinking maybe he was in the doghouse. Kyle Shanahan had this quote about how he has to be a professional. Don't know what all that was about, but you can forget all that now. After the first 2 games where he was barely used, 86% of the snaps he was in on week 3, he was targeted 6 times. That number is going to go up. All right. And so we know that last year as a rookie, he did miss a few games, but when he was out there, he was super productive. And I'm talking top 15 wide receiver in fantasy points per game. That is his upside. And that was as a rookie. So you've got to think this year he could do just as well, if not better. And then once Trey Lance comes in, hopefully Trey Lance does come in at some point. I think that everyone's hoping for that, but it can only get even better because he's got the arm strength, he'll air it out, and that's going to benefit Aiyuk as opposed to the guys like Kittle and Debo who catch the ball closer to the line of scrimmage. So bottom line, we're just starting to scratch the surface of Aiyuk's potential, though there's still a window to buy low. People disappointed after the first 2 weeks, thinking he might be a bust. Go out and get him right now. All right, let's go to another receiver, this time a little bit older, but still not washed. That's Odell Beckham. So I get being cautious with him. We've seen he can barely stay healthy these days. We don't know about the connection between him and Baker Mayfield, but so far, so good. And by that, I mean the one game he's played this year, he looked pretty good. Look, if he's good enough to play right now, you can't worry about future injury. Any player can get injured anytime. If he's good to go and he does look good, you got to have a little bit of faith in him. So Odell Beckham in the game that he played, 77 yards, should have had more. There was a beautiful catch he made on the sideline, but was ruled incomplete just barely. And with Jarvis Landry out, he is the focal point of that passing game. There's just really not a lot of other options. Okay, so we know what he's capable of. In his one game, 31% of the target share, 49% of the air yard share. I don't see that changing much because, again, you have some really young players behind him at wide receiver like Anthony Schwartz, the rookie, Donovan Peoples-Jones, talented, but these guys aren't being trusted by Baker Mayfield like Odell Beckham is. So Beckham is capable of big game at any time. I think that right now is the time to take advantage of the skeptical Beckham owner or, just take advantage of the fact that his upside is higher than what he has shown in the last couple of years in Cleveland. Let's talk about running back now. I don't know if low is really the term of buy low, but maybe expecting more from Javonte Williams so far because you probably drafted him as your RB2, expecting maybe a breakout performance. That wasn't going to happen early in the year because Melvin Gordon is still there. Melvin Gordon is the starter. We knew that was going to be the case. And so why would you even take Javonte Williams? He's going to be in this timeshare. You take him for the second half of the season, the fantasy playoffs, where he could start to pull away and really win that job. And you know what? Even besides that, even if it's still a timeshare, he's being productive. He'll be even more productive when the playoffs roll around. From week 14 on, here are the teams on the schedule for Denver: Detroit, Cincinnati, the Raiders, and the Chargers. Now, we know those first 2 are really nice matchups for a running back. The Raiders, yeah, they're doing great. They're 3-0 because of their passing offense and they're putting up points. Their pass defense is good. Their run defense still not that great. It was really bad last year. And so this is not a bad matchup at all for the Broncos. And the Chargers, again, a good team, but so far early in the season, bottom 5 run defense. They have a really good pass defense, but they're becoming sort of a reverse funnel defense. We'll see if that holds up, but still, don't be scared. You should actually be encouraged by that schedule late in the season. So Javonte Williams, again, I think this is the time to take advantage of the fact people are starting to get a little disappointed in the early returns. But again, you have to look long term. This is a rookie. How many rookie running backs last year had really slow starts and then just went off in the second half? Jonathan Taylor comes to mind. All right, DeAndre Swift did a lot better toward the end of the season. So this could be a similar situation. All right, I'm going to go with another rookie here, and this might surprise you because I was telling a lot of people I'm not paying up for Kyle Pitts on draft day. He's a guy who's going to be overdrafted. So far, that seems to be the case, just not getting a lot done. Well, you know what? You should still be encouraged by the fact that he's been involved as a receiver. It's just the connection hasn't happened. Look, nothing's really happened for the Falcons, honestly. That whole offense looks pretty bad. You've got to think with a veteran like Matt Ryan at quarterback, eventually things will pick up. But at the very least, we knew Pitts would take a little while to develop. Super young, 20 years old coming into the league, and tight ends just don't often pop in their rookie season. So I think we'll see better times ahead. You know, most likely, whoever it is who drafted Pitts, they were super high on him. They may be reluctant to trade. But again, the fact that he's been so disappointing fantasy-wise the first 3 weeks, you never know. You might get somebody who's willing to flip him and feel like they're, at least getting out while they can. So it always depends. But right now, look at the fact that Pitts, out of all tight ends, he's run the 3rd most routes and he's seeing the 4th most targets. And his snap share is increasing each and every week. So that's all encouraging signs. And again, we just expect him to continue to grow. It'll still take a while. There'll be some growing pains, but I expect second half Pitts to be better than first half Pitts. And there's just not a lot of tight ends that you can be really encouraged about with his upside. So I'd say try to put out some feelers out there, see if the Pitts owner is getting a little disgruntled. It might take another week, but you know what? It's still worth it. All right. My last one, perfect timing, coming off a Monday Night Football game where the Eagles got basically embarrassed by the Cowboys, their division rival no less, and Jalen Hurts threw a couple of picks. Didn't look like a very good offense. A lot of the people who were anti-Hurts will say, I told you so. And you know what? Don't care. I'm keeping the faith in Jalen Hurts, not as a matter of being stubborn based on preseason predictions or rankings or whatever, but the fact that he still has league-winning upside. He is still one of the most prolific run/pass quarterback dual threats in the league because we've seen what he can do in big games. Look, it didn't happen against Dallas. We thought that was a smash spot because Dallas defense is no good. Dallas defense is okay, right? The secondary, Trayvon Diggs is for real. We know that, right? That pick six just kind of hammers home the point. But you know what? Yeah, he should have done better. I'll admit it was a bad game. He's not going to go off every single game, but he is still going to have top 10 quarterback upside. And when you look at the second half of the season and you have one quarterback that you can ride through the fantasy playoffs, this is a player who is going to go against the Giants and the Washington football team twice. And we thought the Washington football team was going to have a really nasty defense, and they don't, especially their secondary, just giving up huge chunks of yards for whatever reason. So that's a team that is going to be vulnerable, and I think that Jalen Hurts will still reward fantasy owners. Don't give up on him, or if the player that has him in your league is giving up on him, you scoop him up for a discount, and then you can see what happens week to week. You know, if you're looking for a quarterback, chances are you're not going to find one anyways on waivers or through the trade market that has Hurts' upside. So go out and try to grab him now while his value is probably the lowest it'll be all season. All right, so those are some of my favorite buy low candidates heading into week 4. Let me know who you think I missed, or if you disagree, that is fine. Let me know. Hit us up with a comment right here in this video, or you can join the discussion where we talk trade, waivers, start sit, everything fantasy related on our Discord. Again, that link is below in the description. And of course, we would appreciate it, as always, you subscribe and tell your friends. Just don't tell your league mates because it might help them win. You don't want that. All right, guys. Good luck.